If you want to have the happiest and healthiest school year next year, then it starts with the habits you build this summer. I know it's hard for us teachers, but it's time to put yourself first. Summer is the time to set up those habits that will lead to success throughout the school year. Today I'm going to share with you the 5 top habits that I think will have the biggest impact on your health and your life in general throughout the school year if you start implementing them now. I know over summer we just want to relax, but I promise you these will help with the relaxation. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. Okay, habit number 1, I'm a little obsessed with, so I'll try to keep it short and simple. The scientific evidence behind daily movement is endless, and I think it's a little bit intimidating to some of us when we hear daily movement because it's so often referred to as exercise. And for people who have never exercised consistently, that can be scary. But that's why I like to refer to it as daily movement. There are so many different ways you can get that movement in. It does not have to be going to the gym or running miles upon miles. If you have never done that before, don't just go out and run 10 miles. You don't need to do that. When I am talking about daily movement, I mean small, simple adjustments. Park farther away when you go to the grocery store. Walk your dog a few times throughout the day. Chase your kids when they want to play. Small, simple changes have huge impacts. There's a quote from one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits. Small habits don't add up, they compound. That's the power of atomic habits. Tiny changes, remarkable results. So before you decide to go run a marathon, especially if you don't even own running shoes, think of small things you can adjust in your day that maybe will bring just that little bit of extra movement to your body. It will be astounding how much of a change that will make. And then if you're doing 1% every day, by the time summer is over, your daily movement will be such a habit that even when school starts and you're tired and you think all you want to do is lay on the couch and veg, it'll just be a habit to get up and do something. And that is honestly how you'll reach your goals. Starting small and those small little actions every day will lead up to that success. Movement is a medicine for creating change in a person's physical, emotional, and mental states. I will forever live by this. I cannot agree more with how much of an impact just moving your body every day can have. Habit number 2 piggybacks off of the last one. There are so many factors that lead to a happy and healthy life, and I think if you're getting your daily movement in, then something that just goes hand in hand with that is having a balanced diet. You will notice that I said balanced.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
Just like with daily movement, I think it is so important to ease into a healthy diet. That is what's so great about summer though. You have time to experiment, try new recipes, figure out what you like and what you don't like, figure out what reacts well with your body, figure out what your family will eat, find those recipes to try that will lead to the goals that you have, and just try something every week. When you are tired and stressed at work, let me tell you now, there is nothing better than pulling out your lunch and realizing it's one of your favorites.
Oh, those are the new ones?
Yes! 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 Yes!
And it's something that will bring you closer to your goals and make you happy and energized. While you're trying out those recipes, keep in all those other factors too. Do you have a microwave at work? How much time do you actually have to eat it? Will it make your breath stink? Will it stink up your room? Can you meal prep it? Take advantage of this time you have to actually analyze those things. Yes, I'm a science teacher, so find the data. If you want some ideas on some recipes, you can check out my video on some of my go-to meals that I like to meal prep because there's just no time in the mornings and hardly any time in the evening. So find those recipes that you can go to over and over again and still enjoy. So habit number 3 has to do with your mindfulness and your self-development. Teachers always go to professional developments over summer. People think Teachers have summer off, but
Yeah, right.
so while you're considering all those different professional developments you want to attend, you should also think, what self-development can you implement as well? Your mental wellness could be argued as even more important than your physical wellness, just because in order for you to improve your physical health, you have to be in the right mindset, and that comes from your mental health. Investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. It will not only improve your life, it will improve the lives of all of those around you. That's a quote by Robin Sharma, and it could not be more true as a teacher. If you've ever been in the classroom, you know that your students see your mood and they build off of that. You are having a bad day, it is so much more likely that the students are gonna have a really off day. And it goes the same way the other direction. If you are in the right mental state, that will help your students to be in the right mental state. That is why I want to stress the importance of figuring that out now over summer, so that when the school starts, you don't have to worry about that. You're already in that mental state. Yes, you're gonna have to do things to kind of keep it up and everything, but starting there will have such an impact. So what will that look like over summer? That could be starting by just meditating a few minutes every day, or starting a gratitude journal you fill out every night. Reading. The options should be geared towards what makes you feel the best and the most powerful version of yourself. Another thing I recently started doing is journaling, and it was surprising, but I actually love it. It gives you that time to really think about what you want in life. In fact, I loved it so much that I created a 30-day journaling challenge. So if you're interested in starting journaling and you have no idea where to begin, I'll leave a link below that will lead you to my free 30-day journaling challenge. It's geared towards teachers, but if you're not a teacher, you can use it. But it's geared towards just everything I'm talking about today, how we can make these small changes to have a healthier and happier life. So whether you choose journaling or yoga or meditating, whatever it is, just try it for a few days, and then if you don't like it, try something else. Now is the time to experiment. Now is the time to try these things and figure out which one helps you the most and makes you feel the most powerful, the most in tune with yourself and with your body, and the one that will lead to that mental state that you'll need throughout the school year. So all the habits I've talked to you about so far could be kind of integrated into this fourth habit. So I'm sure you've heard this phrase before, but win the morning, win the day. That's a quote by Tim Ferriss, and what he's saying in this is basically create a morning routine. I am a strong believer that there's no one perfect morning routine. Ones still experiment with them all the time, but the main thing that I think everyone should implement is something that can consistently get them in the right state. What I mean by that is figuring out, what do you need to do so that you are ready to tackle the day? Whether that's through something we've already talked about, like meditating or journaling, or if you are one of those crazy people that wants to do the cold showers or sprint in the morning. And right now over summer, hopefully your schedule is not as busy. So you're able to experiment with those things and figure out what has that long-lasting impact. And one of those things that I think you should add and decide to put into your day actually leads us into habit number 5, which might be one of the hardest for us teachers. When summer break hits, we're good at relaxing. We're good at finding those fun things to do, the things out of ordinary, the things that we would never think about doing throughout the school year. But that's the thing. We relax over summer, and then as soon as school starts, we stop. And we don't make the time for those things we enjoy or for the little bit of relaxation we need. And that's why my last tip is practice implementing self-care. As a teacher, I understand that the students mean so much to us. But there's a phrase that I'm sure you guys have all heard. You cannot pour from an empty cup. If we are not in the right headspace, if we do not have the energy or the positivity that we need, it will affect our students. And that's why I think it's so important that right now we are practicing the habit of self-care. Not just relax because it's summer, but relax when my body needs it. Do it because you deserve it, because your body needs it to rejuvenate. You need that energy the next day. Don't just do it because you have time, but make it a habit. Figure out how you can make that a habit now. I feel so strongly about this one because I understand it's hard to fit it in, but I think that is the number one thing that will prevent teachers from burnout, is knowing that caring about yourself and your mental health and your physical health is important. And it is just as important as everything else. So take this stuff seriously, because a thriving classroom starts with a teacher who takes care of themselves. So when you're figuring out what you're going to do this summer, make sure you're leaving room for these things. Whether you choose to start with a daily movement, a balanced diet, the self-improvement, creating that morning routine, or practicing self-care, try something every day. Something little that will lead to compounding impact. I hope these tips inspire you to create those habits that will lead to that successful and happy year. Sometimes we forget about ourselves. We are so focused on our students that our own health diminishes and starts to go downhill. And I have experienced that. I'm a teacher. I've been teaching for 6 years now, about to go into my 7th year. And I don't think I would still be here if it weren't for having set these habits in place and implementing them every day. And I just want to stress that again. A thriving classroom begins with a teacher that takes care of herself. If you are thriving, your class will thrive. And I promise you that. So please, if you like this and you want more inspiration or have questions, leave a comment below, subscribe, like it, or whatever. And I hope you guys have the greatest summer that will lead into the best and the happiest and the healthiest school year next year. Thanks, guys.